Hello, so welcome or welcome back if you have flown with me before. Thank you so much for joining again. So, today I'm going to guide you through a hip mobility flow. So, with hip mobility, we're looking to find that strength within the flexibility. So, working into a range of motion in our hips and finding that strength to really support us. So, in order to sort of protect our whole body. So, sometimes as well, like when we're often required to sit at desk jobs and things like that at the moment, we're sitting for long periods of time. And this can actually start to weaken the glutes and it can also shorten the hip flexors. So when these become weaker, we actually have different areas of our body that start to compensate for this weakness and this kind of inflexibility. So one of the main ones being the lower back. So you may also find that there is this connection between opening and exploring this range of mobility and how this may release tension in other areas of the body. So, just something to be mindful of. So, when you're ready, it'll be good if you could have one or two blocks and just place them beside your mat. I'll meet you on the mat in Supta Baddha Konasana. So, starting in our Supta Baddha Konasana, drawing the soles of the feet together, the knees can come out wide. Just knowing how far you want to draw those feet in and showing no pressure in the knees. If you do want to support the knees, you can take a block and place it underneath. And then lowering down onto the forearms and lowering the back all the way down onto the mat here. Maybe taking one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest, and just settling in here. And just noticing the breath in its natural rhythm, not changing anything here. Using this time to check in with the body, especially focusing on the hips here. So maybe you can notice any imbalances between the left and the right. On each exhale, can you gently start to soften into those hips and just allow those knees to feel a little bit heavier. And starting to deepen the breath. So inhaling through the nose, allow that breath to come in all the way, filling the belly up, expanding through the ribs, lifting the chest. Then exhaling the breath out through the nose, the chest lowers, the ribs contract, the belly softens. Taking a couple more rounds of this breath here. Maybe you can feel that breath just become one long fluid breath with no ends. Take one final breath here. And then taking hold of the outside of the thighs, gently start to guide your knees all the way back to center. And just moving any blocks out the way if you took those. And then starting to draw the knees towards the chest. You can keep the eyes closed or blink open the eyes if you feel that's better for you. And placing the hands on the knees, and we'll start to circle the knees around. So just taking them in one direction, seeing if you can keep the feet quite close together. Breathing fully and completely here. And then reverse the direction. So and just starting to notice anything, maybe listening to any pops of air here. Nice, and then keeping the right leg drawn in, start to extend that left leg long towards the end of the mat. And really focus on pushing that left leg away, keeping it active. As you actively draw that right knee towards the chest, so not using our hands here. Take an inhale here. And exhale, release. Take the left hand over the right knee and assist that right knee all the way over across the body to the left, but taking it more onto the left side than a supine twist, so the left ear comes towards the mat. You can place that left palm and place the right knee on top of it here to keep you supported. As you inhale, that right arm sweeps all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, take a circle all the way round back behind you, but keeping that knee and that palm connected until it draws all the way back up. Nice. We'll take 3 more of these. Inhale. Exhale, sweep it round. You can take the gaze with you, but keeping the head on the mat. One more breath. Inhale it up. Open through that upper body. Exhale, take it all the way back. Nice, rolling all the way back on towards your back. And just shuffling the hips underneath you here. Inhale, start to draw that knee again in towards the chest. And then taking half happy baby, so flexing through the right foot, pointing up to the sky, drawing that knee towards the armpit, either holding on to underneath the thigh, the calf, the ankle, or if you can, holding onto the outside of that right foot. The left hand can ground the left hip. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can draw that knee down towards the mat. And just using awareness here, just how the hips feel today. Couple breaths here. Trying to keep that left hip grounded. Nice, release that right foot. Extend it all the way towards the end of the mat. And then inhale, draw that left knee in towards the chest. Actively draw it in as you push away with that right foot, really lengthening through the psoas muscle here. Inhale. As you exhale, take the right hand to the outside of the left knee and just actively encourage that left knee all the way across to the right. And then placing that right palm, take it underneath that left hip to support it, turning onto the right hand side, right ear towards the mat. Inhale, take that left arm up above you. And then exhale, circle it all the way behind you. Maybe the gaze follows. Nice, take 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, open. Keeping that left knee connected to the right palm. Inhale. Exhale, open through the chest. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, sweeping that left arm open behind you. And releasing the body all the way onto the back, taking those hips square beneath you. Inhale, draw that left knee actively towards the chest. Flex through the foot. I'll take a happy baby. So flexing through the left foot, taking the grip to the thigh, the calf, the ankle, or the outside of the foot. Keeping that right hand grounding down with the right hip. Inhale here. And exhale to soften into your half happy baby. Starting to engage your ujjayi breath if you have that in your practice. Otherwise, breathing deeply, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Nice, release that leg and then draw the right knee to meet the left. Taking hold of underneath the thighs, we'll rock back and forwards 3 times. Taking a nice massage through that lower back, releasing off any tension. And as you arrive at the top of the mat, cross under the ankles, place the hands down, come into your all fours, your tabletop position. Spread wide through fingertips, stacking shoulders on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. As you inhale, the pelvis tilts up, the belly lowers, the chest reaches through, the gaze goes up. As you exhale, tuck under the pelvis, push away through those shoulder blades, gaze to your belly. And take a couple rounds of this cat-cow, connecting this movement to your breath. And really noticing how the pelvis leads the movement here. So as you arch through the pelvis, how that affects the rest of your body, how that articulates the body. Nice, come all the way back to your tabletop. We'll cross those ankles again, walking the hands back this time, so we come back to sit on our sit bones. And then taking the feet out in front of you, taking the soles of the feet together, coming into your Baddha Konasana, so knees out to the side, And this can be as far forward as they need to feel comfortable for you. Or just take a moment to ground down through the sit bones here, lengthen through crown of the head. Okay, so coming into some mobility drills from here. So options to use your hands if you need to. If you want to go for that bit of mobility challenge and get everything fired up through the hips, taking your hands, leaning the body weight forward to the right. See if you can internally rotate this leg, flexing through the left foot to place it in your deer pose. So taking any little adjustments you need. We're aiming for a 90-degree in each leg. You don't need to do that if it doesn't feel comfortable. You can prop under the left glute or the left knee here if anything feels too much for you. So options to just stay here with your Ujjayi breath, feeling into this space. If you want a bit more of a mobility strengthening here, we're going to take some twists over towards the right. So as you inhale, the arms reach out long, if you have space. As you exhale, twist the arms so that the chest is over the right thigh. And we exhale the chest towards the right thigh. Nice. We'll take 4 more of these. Inhale it up, center square through the hips. Exhale, twist lower down. Nice. For 3. Flexing through those feet. For 2. Keeping those glutes engaged. And 1. Nice, coming all the way back to center. So taking hold of your block that's hopefully nearby, otherwise getting out and just coming back into your deer pose, and then placing the block on either setting that you want, so high or low. The lower it is, the easier that this will be. Again, you can have the option not to use a block. So we're going to aim to do some mobility into your adductors here. So this left leg is going to flex. Going to lean the body weight forward just so we can find that stability, that strength, and then aiming to take that left foot over to one side of the block and then take it back. So we'll go for 5 rounds of this. So taking it over 1. For 2. It should feel quite a small movement but quite spicy. 3. Keeping the core engaged as well for 4. 5, really nice. And then taking the block and just place it to the top of your mat. Options to use your hands, or if you want to, inhale, see if you can turn halfway, just using your hips, using that strength. And then exhale, take your deer pose all the way towards the back of the mat. So coming into deer pose, left foot forward, right foot back this time. Again, taking any props or anything you need to soften into this space here. So we'll take the same on this side. So again, options to stay here, working into the strength mobility, or option to take the twists. So if you're taking the twists, inhale, the arms reach high. Exhale, take the torso over towards the left thigh. Inhale, center. Exhale, left thigh. Nice. For 3. You've got this. For 2, feeling those hips switch on here. Nice. For 1, breathing into this space. And then taking that block you place behind you, and we'll take the adductor little drill on this side. So again, taking the block to wherever you feel is right for you, in line with that right foot. Inhale, shift the body weight forward, find that space, and then we go for 5. For 4. Over. For 3. Keep it engaged, keep everything square. For 2. And 1. Absolutely amazing. Take that block and just place it by the side. Again, options to use your hands or options to inhale, take it back to halfway. Then exhale, take it all the way back to your deer pose right side. Then plant the hands down and we'll step back into our tabletop position. Taking the hands another palm's distance ahead. Ground through the fingertips, spread the fingers wide. Tuck under toes, lift knees, send sit bones high. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Nice, and then using this downward facing dog to pedal through the legs. Maybe taking some shakes out through the feet and some sways from side to side, releasing off those hips. Then inhaling, taking the gaze forward. Rise onto your tiptoes and tiptoe the feet all the way towards the palms, feet hips distance. Take an inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, bend through the knees and allow the upper body to melt forward here. So just taking a couple breaths, lengthening out through that back body. And each inhale, can you find space? On each exhale, can you just allow yourself to soften a little bit here? Slight bend in the knees, tuck your chin towards the chest. Inhale to round the spine all the way up to standing. And exhale, roll shoulder blades down the back. Nice. And we'll take a couple rounds of Surya Namaskar just to build a little bit more heat through the body and then working into a little mobility flow. So taking your toes together, heels slightly apart, or feet stacked underneath your hips. Soften into the knees, find that length, that stability in the pelvis. Hands to heart center, Samiyoga. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, bend your knees, hinging forward from your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, fingertips to the mat or hands to shins, gaze forward, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank pose here. Lower the knees, arch through the spine, lower the chest and the chin down towards the mat. Inhale and tuck the toes, ripple the belly forward, roll shoulder blades down back, Bhujangasana Cobra pose. Exhale, push back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here, using this time to either pedal out through the legs, release any areas of tension, or maybe just find some stillness. One more breath. Take gaze in between your hands, walk, step, jump, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, your variation. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, we go again. Inhale. Exhale, hinge from your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Lowering down through knees, chest and chin. Or if you're feeling ready for it, inhaling, taking your full chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Lifting the knees, open through that chest. And exhale, take it back. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Coming back to that center, back to that breath. Final breath here. Take gaze in between your hands, walk, step, jump, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, Samiyoga. Move vinyasa back to a downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Either walk, step, or option to take a little hop back into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Taking a moment to ground down here through your downward dog. And then drawing that left knee towards the center line. Inhale, take that right leg in towards the sky, keeping the hips square here. And then bend that right knee towards the right glute and open that hip out. Split hip dog opener, but really aim today to keep the stability in those shoulders, squaring off through the shoulders here. One more breath. Inhale, square off through the hips, draw that right knee towards the chest, push away through those shoulder blades, and then step that right foot in between the hands. Low lunge. So keeping the back toes tucked here, find that stability. So from here you can take blocks to either side to support you, or if you want to, staying on your hands or on your fingertips, you're going to come onto the knife edge of that right foot and aim to keep those hips square here. Maybe take some rocks forward and back. So it should feel a nice opening through the outer left hip. Maybe a little bit into the outer right hip as well. One more breath here. Then come back, plant that right foot all the way back down, lower that left knee. So options to interlace the hands, roll the shoulder blades down, lift through the chest in this variation of low lunge and Janiyasana, or options to take that right hand down, find the stability in the hips. Draw the hip bones back and draw that left foot towards left glute. So here might be enough holding on to that left ankle. Maybe you can start to just send the hips forward a little bit. So again, really small movement here, keeping the glutes engaged. One more breath. And then release it down, frame the front foot. Start to walk the hands all the way round to the long edge of the mat, pivoting the toes to face inwards here. Take an inhale, raise to the fingertips, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, keeping a bend in the knees here. Really externally rotating the hips, feeling strong. And just allowing the upper body to release off. Inhale, take it back, halfway lift. From here, the left foot is going to pivot towards the outside edge of the mat, so open 45 degrees. The right foot is going to pivot all the way back, so the toes are facing the front of the mat. Then bending into this left hip, send the sit bones back in space. You're coming into a variation of Skandasana, maybe a lot higher than you often take it. Breathe in here, stable through the hips, squeeze the glutes. Inhale. As you exhale, start to straighten through left leg, bend into the right leg, take it out to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, and opening through that right hip. Breathe in here. Going to take 3 rounds of Skandasana to Warrior 2. Options to keep it high or options to lower your Skandasana, but remember you've got to use that mobility to get yourself back up to Warrior 2, so take it where it feels right for you. On the inhale, start to shift the body back. Hover in here, Skandasana, lift the toes if you wish. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, Skandasana. Inhale, Warrior 2. Nice. One more. Inhale, Skandasana. Exhale, Warrior 2, and hold it here. Windmill the arms all the way to the inside of the right foot. Pivot that back foot onto the ball of the foot and shimmy that right foot out. You're in your lizard lunge. And just take a moment to settle down here. Seeing if you can really draw your hips together here. So the right hip is drawing back, left is forward, finding that real stability. Options to stay here, or if you want to walk the fingertips forward. 2 breaths wherever you are. And taking the hands back underneath the shoulders. Ground down through the hands here. Protract through the shoulders, lift that right knee. Flex through the right foot and place it in line with that left hand. Lower down that right shin. Keep the back toes tucked. You're in your active pigeon. So just take a moment to find what feels right for you. You can draw that right foot closer towards the groin here, and that will feel a lot more spacious for you. So squaring off through the hips, active through the glutes. Option to interlace the hands, take Kali Mudra here for 3 breaths. Staying calm through the body. Flow it through the breath. Final breath. And then release the hands. Ground down through the hands, step back plank. Take your variation of your vinyasa. Use chest chin or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Pedaling out through those hips. Amazing. So going to take the same flow on the other side. You might just want to take a moment to notice maybe how one side feels compared to the other here. Maybe take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out through the mouth. Really nice. Okay, ground down through the hands, step the right foot into center. As you inhale that left leg up to your 3-leg dog, keeping the hips square. Drawing that left foot towards the left glute. We open out, split hip dog opener. Again, staying square and stable through the shoulders today. And breathing into this space. Inhale, take it back, 3-leg dog, square off through the hips. Exhale, left knee towards the chest, round through those shoulders, step the left foot in between the hands. And then coming onto the blocks if you need stability, or if not, maybe the fingertips as we come onto the knife edge of that left foot, keeping the back toes tucked if you can. And taking some gentle rocks here, forward and back. Then actively drawing everything into center line here. One more breath here. Then firmly placing that left sole of the foot down, lower that right knee. Interlace the hands, options to take this variation of Anjaneyasana, or options to take the left hand, and then actively draw that right foot towards the right glute, shift the hips back in space, and then exhale, can you gently start to lower and sink those hips, finding that space, that release. And then release the ankle, lower down the foot gently if you took that bind. Take the hands and walk them all the way now to the long edge of the mat, coming over to the right side. The toes are facing in, heels are facing out. Inhale, fingertips lift and lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, bend the knees, externally rotate the hip. Allow that body to sink heavy here. Breathing into this space. One more breath here. And inhale, take your halfway lift. Pivot the back foot 45 degrees out to the right. Pivot that front foot so the toes face the front of the mat. Start to bend into that right leg. Lifting up, taking your variation of Skandasana, option to flex through that left foot. Again, lowering down for as low as you want to, but making sure we can get into that warrior two. So if you're low for your Skandasana, ground through that right foot, open it out to your Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Amazing. We'll take 3 more of these. So inhale, take it back and down, Skandasana. Exhale, bend into front leg, warrior 2, hips are square. Nice, 2 more. Final one, amazing. This is not an easy transition, holding here, warrior 2. Inhale, and as you exhale, windmill the hands all the way to the inside of the left foot, pivot the right toe. Shimmy that left foot out, you're in your lizard lunge. Taking a moment to just take a little rock back and forward. Really getting into those hips. Option to stay here or option to walk your fingertips Little bit forward. Maybe you can lower the ears in line with the armpits. And just find that center line. 2 more breaths. Nice, take it all the way back. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders, puff up through the chest. Draw that left knee in towards the left elbow. Foot flexes and comes over towards the right hand. Lowering left shin down. Tuck under the right toe, you're in your active pigeon left side. Breathe in here. Again, you can have blocks either side to support you here. Hands down on the mat. Or if you want to, hands to your hips, or even taking Kali Mudra, 3 breaths. Embracing the shakes as much as I am here. Nice. 2. 1. Nice, release it down. Step left foot back to meet the right. Take your vinyasa. Amazing. Inhale up, dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lower the knees out to the side. Sit bones back towards the feet. Melt the head and chest down. Take a well-deserved child's pose here. Breathe into this new space you have created. And just noticing if you feel any energetic differences in the body. Maybe if you feel particularly spacious in any areas. Not attaching any judgment or thoughts to these, but really just noticing. Nice. And then when you're ready, walking your fingertips all the way back towards your seat. And then shifting onto our sit bones, taking the feet out long. Drawing the sit bones towards them. The feet are about inch distance apart. Take the hands in line with the shoulders and we'll lower down, scoop the tailbone for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Just stretching out a little bit through the front body now before we take a well-deserved rest. So taking your feet a little bit further forward than you normally would for your bridge pose, but keeping them in line with the hips. Palms of the hands down. Take an inhale, scoop and lift up through that tailbone, lifting the hips off the mat. Drawing the hips and the belly together here, finding that strong diagonal line. As you inhale, draw the knees out towards either side, ensuring no knee pain. And exhale, squeeze the knees in together. Nice. Do this for 4. For 3, squeeze those glutes. For 2. And 1. Nice. Lower the back all the way down towards the mat. And then take the feet a little bit closer, like you would for traditional bridge. On your next inhale, lifting up, scoop that tailbone, squeeze the thighs together. Draw everything into center line. And then see if you can ground down through the left foot as you draw that right knee in towards your chest. And we'll take 5 lowers down here. So inhale here. As you exhale, lower and hover the glutes off the mat. And then take it back up to the sky. Keeping that strong diagonal line. For 3. For 2. For 1. Nice. Place the right foot down. And lift that left leg up to the sky. Same thing this side. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lower and hover the glutes for 5. Draw the knee in for 4. For 3. Squeeze those glutes for 2. And 1. Nice. Place the left foot down. Lift and open through those hips. And then exhale, roll all the way down. Nice. And then just windscreen wipe those knees from side to side here. Breathing into this space. You've done amazing today. Quite different from a traditional flow. And draw the knees into center. Give yourself a nice hug. Draw your forehead towards your knees. Squeeze, 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 squeeze everything in really tight. And then exhale, release it off. Take feet to either corner of the mat. Interlace your hands around your head. Draw your neck towards your chest. And release it down. Palms face up towards the sky. Coming into your well-deserved Shavasana. Take a deep inhale here, breathing deep into the belly. And then exhale, side out through the mouth. Let this sigh carry you into complete stillness, complete surrender. Options to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need, or when you're ready, gently start to take some small movements into the fingertips, into the toes. Maybe starting to deepen the breath here. Turning the head gently from side to side. And then taking any stretches, any little movements that you feel that you need to bring yourself back to this room, this space. Maybe take an overhead stretch. And then when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed down, slowly and softly, however you wish, start to make your way to a comfortable seated position at the top of your mat. Grounding down through the sit bones, lengthening tall through crown of the head. And take your hands on top of one another at your heart space. And just noticing everything that you feel right now in this moment. Noticing that every emotion you feel is completely valid. Knowing that you yourself are completely enough right now. We'll close the practice with a releasing breath. So when you're ready, take a deep inhale through the nose. Part the lips, gently release the breath, side out. Take your hands to your heart center. Bow your head in honor of yourself and in honor of the practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. A little bit different than what we usually do, but really important to have this sense of understanding this mobility and this strength within the flexibility in our practice, so that we can ensure we practice really safe and get this enjoyment from yoga for as long as we possibly can. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.